Hi guys, Shaun with Next Level Ag. I'm here with Nick. We're just going to talk to you about some seed, some things we saw in the field this year, what we're excited about in the coming years. Um, this year we really didn't have ideal moisture. Throughout the beginning of the year it was dry, one of the drier years we've had in a while. And I think down the road that ended up hurting, plant quality. Obviously, you don't have the moisture. So we did see a little more down corn than normal, and I think that was a common theme throughout all brands. So I think it was interesting though because I think we learned a lot about what varieties can really handle drought. That drought tolerance. One of the better ones that I think we saw was that 51G55 axis. That's been a good number.
Good corn on corn option.
Good corn on corn option.
Stood very well everywhere, and its yield really was pretty consistent as far as that goes. So that's a really good one for sure.
Well, and I like how there's also been years where you plant that in some wet ground and it does really well.
Yep.
50R51, that's a 100-day axis. I thought that one did. It stood really well this year. Despite the conditions, yielded up there with the best of them. So that's been a good option. Both of those numbers come in at Double Pro also.
Yep.
So, and then 5525 LG, that's a 105-day. That one stood really well. And I know some guys are hesitant to plant that late of a maturity around here. Mostly it boils down to drying. What are the drying options? But that one has been a good one too. So, what did you see with the stuff that you planted?
Basically, that 51G55 was very well. 5465 and 46M23. So 5465 would be an LG 97-day, and then 46M is the Axis 96-day. Both yielded well. In a couple spots, some of those fell over a bit, but I think that was environmental situation. It was not widespread at all.
Yeah.
But those were still, then those are ones that we rely on every year, and they, even on a dry year, still performed. Yeah. So I don't think we should go away from them at all.
Right. And yeah, I think too, it's, if you saw a variety that's down this year, I think you got to remind yourself that this is kind of an outlier in weather.
Right.
So, it's hard for a guy not to overreact when you plant a variety and it is not doing well in a drought situation. But ideally, we don't have this type of weather every year, so that, I guess on our end, we're not panicking if one of our numbers were down.
Right.
I think you learned something about it, but next year could be a completely different story.
Right.
But,
yeah.
And we got some newer things going in the ground this year. I think you wanted to touch on 47.
Yeah. So 47C77 is an LG 97-day. Hasn't been in a lot of whole fields yet. We've had it in the plot a couple years, and it's done really well. And after kind of digging into it more, it likes the pH that we have in our soil, so it does well. It'll be consistent and durable. So that is one that we're excited to see. And yeah, like I said, 97-day. So in that mid maturity range, which a lot of people like. And then you had one.
Yeah, we have a 104-day axis that we actually had in our plot this last year, and I think it won the plot. And we didn't have any of it in the field last year around here, but we have a very limited amount of units we're going to try this year, and I'm excited to see it. Not in a 6-row plot. I want to see it over the course of 40 acres or whatever it may be, and see how it performs. But I'm kind of excited about that one. I think. It's got a lot of potential. I think it's, one of them, like you said, it should be durable. It should be able to handle quite a bit. So
yeah, and I'd say, obviously, on the top of everyone's mind is cost for this year. Cost of inputs are up. Fertilizer, seed, it's widespread. But Next Level did a good job of when the commodity prices started going up, we purchased some units of Axis stuff, and that we're able to kind of package that with certain varieties to bring your whole farm seed cost down. So that is an option as well, to try to pair some of those to bring the cost down a little bit.
Yeah, yeah,
and there's that's situational. It's not across every unit. It's not, and there's only so many. So but that's something to get on top of, I guess.
Yep, and that like Nick said, that's out of an inventory that we purchased. So if you come in, we can sit down, we can go all over that. But yeah, hopefully the guys who did plant some of our stuff saw us. You know, I heard a lot of good things.
Right.
But yeah, come on in. We'll sit down and we'll get a plan for 2022.
Yep.